Hi, I'm Shalimar Chasse, and I'm an instructor for the Peter Alfond Prevention and Healthy Living Program. And today I'm going to offer a video on mindfulness drumming. This is aimed for youth and teens, but you could certainly do it as a family or as an adult. I don't see any reason why you couldn't. I'm going to share a few drumming techniques that will help calm us down when we're feeling a bit anxious, that you can do when you're hanging around with a friend. And I'm going to share a little bit about how you can make a drum out of things that you might have around the house. One that's a little bit fancy and one that is very simple that you don't have to do much with at all. And we'll do a little bit of breathing as well with our drumming, which is always great for making us well overall. And I want to thank you for spending time looking at this video. I'd like to share with you that drumming is a real passion for me, and I discovered it later when I was an adult. And I found that I was able to stop thinking about everything that bothers me, because drumming has a beat and I needed to focus on the beat. And while I was focusing on the beat, I wasn't worried about things. I wasn't thinking about things. And so, and it's just fun to do. You can use your body, you can dance with it, and you can make drums. And I love, I'm an artist, and I just love being creative with what we make. So I'm very delighted to be able to share this with you. My teachers are from a Native and an African background, so like Native American, Indigenous Peoples of America, and the natives of Africa and African American drumming. So the drums I have are, this is a frame drum, and it's got a beautiful skin wrapped on it. And I made this drum locally, and what I love about it is all of the items that went to this drum came from places that were thoughtful about how they collected the materials. They didn't do anything particularly harmful to the animal, to the tree that made the wood. You know, the things they chose to do things with reverence. All right, that means they honored the things that they used to make the drums. So I like that about it. And sometime I'm going to decorate this. I made it fairly recently. And this drum, I especially like. I got it at a powwow in the Gray Animal Farm. It was made by a native, and they have this powwow every year in either August, I think it's August. And it's so much fun to go and watch the dancers and the singers. They actually call drumming singing in some native circles. And so if you see someone playing a drum, you could refer to them as a singer, which I think is very beautiful. So this drum was made from a big coffee can, and it's wrapped with animal skin and leather, which is also from an animal. Strings those two pieces together, and it makes beautiful sound. I'll show you how that one sounds in a little bit, but since I'm holding this and talking about sound. I love how that one sounds. It's beautiful. And so I could imagine that you could get some leather from like Michael's, and a little ball and dowel, also from Michael's in the wood section. And this is birch bark wallpaper, or like contact paper. So it's kind of clever, but I don't see why you couldn't use regular birch bark if you wanted to. It would be kind of fun to do. And I brought also a common, well, I don't know, common if you love pretzels like my husband does. He loves, I mean, gosh, he goes through one of these a week, I think. So I have lots and lots of these. And I like making drums with my students, and they can be made from these just as well. They can be decorated, and they have a nice sound too. So let's use this to hear how it sounds. See how it all has different sounds? That's what I'd love you to do. With permission, somebody, whoever, you need to ask, is it okay to like recycle things that are in the kitchen? Like you'd have to find a place to put the pretzels, for example. I think it would be really neat to see what things make sound, as long as you have permission to do that. The other thing I should say about drumming is it can be really annoying. It's loud, it can be loud. So I think it's always a good idea to ask permission before you just start banging on something. Find a quiet place and sit, do it. You don't necessarily have to entertain with it. It can be very personal. All kinds of sounds. You could sit on a big pail, like a big plastic bucket. Try sitting with it turned upside down, and then you could imagine this is a big bucket. You could just bump, 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 bump right on the sides of it. There have been times when I've been in the city, and it's so cool to see people that are taking common everyday objects, and they'll just sit on a trash can and bump, bada, bump, like that. It sounds really, really cool. It makes great sound. All right. So let's hear what this one sounds like. This one I love to use for mimicking the sound of the earth. And that's a great place to start when you're starting to drum. You can imagine if you were at the center of the earth, what would the earth's heartbeat sound like if it had a heartbeat? So I imagine it might sound like this. Boop. Trying to find the place that is less echoey for you. Because I can imagine as you're listening to this, you're going, wow. Okay. There we go. The thing about skin drums is depending on how humid it is, how cold it is, the drums can sound different all the time. Today it sounds very teeny. So one way to get calm, if you're feeling like, and you just want a little time to yourself, is you can find something to drum with and imagine what the beat of the earth sounds like. You heard what I think it sounds like. Some people think it sounds like this. That's really comforting to you. Maybe that's what you need to feel calm, and I think that's okay too. So you find a beat that makes you feel good in the moment. That's what's going to bring wellness to you, okay? You can also mimic your own heartbeat. That is pretty fun to do. First, let's see if we can find our heartbeat. Have you ever tried that? It's kind of neat. So you could take 2 fingers and start by your ear and come down your neck, kind of like an angle like this, okay? You're coming to the middle of your neck, so start here, come down. And when you get to a place about halfway where there's like a little bowl, like a little space, and there's something spongy next to it, right there. If you press in, there's a vein that goes, or it's an artery that goes up your neck here, inside. That's what we're feeling. Your blood is passing through, and we can feel your heartbeat. Mine is going boom, 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 boom. That's pretty fast. I must be so happy and excited to be sharing with you. Yeah, bump, bump, bump. That's a pretty fast heartbeat. Now, if I wanted to calm down, I could just take my drum and I could first mimic the bump, bump, bump. So my heart's going bump, 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 bump. And I could say, I just want to relax a little more, calm down, not maybe be so anxious, and I could slow it down a little. And sometimes, if you feel like you're going faster, which is easy to do, I think I was just doing that, you could count 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That's a really nice way to calm down too. Counting means we're not thinking about other things we're worried about, probably. Okay, there's another way to find your pulse. If you have a hard time here, you could do it here on your arm. So you're going to bend your hand in a little bit like this, and where the bend is, you're going to put 2 fingers. And then just relax, and you'll feel a little bowl. Just like there's a little bowl here, a little space, there's a bowl here. And sometimes you have to feel around a little bit until you feel a pulse. And here's a trick. If you do this, you're going to feel the pulse of your thumb. So you want to make sure you're not putting your thumb on your wrist either. So I think we're going to have to pretend I found my pulse because I'm not finding it in my wrist today. I think it might take a little bit longer to find it. Oh, I found it. It's good. Okay, so I found a little bowl, and for me today, even though you can see the veins I have here, you'd think I would feel my pulse on there. I had to move over a little bit. And now I really feel it. Pump, bump, bump, bump. Hasn't calmed down yet. All right. The other thing that I think is really wonderful with drumming is connecting our breath to the drumming. So let's do this without a drum. I have a good friend who taught me that we can drum on our body. If we don't have a drum and we want to use drumming to calm down, and she suggested the 3 count. It's like 3-step, a dance move, kind of like the waltz. Bump, 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 like this. So you can make that, you can try it with me right now. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, so you notice I started rocking right away. I think because I'm doing it on my body, I just feel like I want to rock with it. And that's wonderful too. That is so healing for the body. So, bump, 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 bump. And right now I'm feeling like rocking forward and back. But you could rock this way too. Rock side to side. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, now here's where the breath comes in. Now, if you've ever heard of somebody trying to do 2 things at once, right? We tap our head and we rub our belly, and then we end up rubbing our head and tapping our belly and getting it all mixed up. Well, it takes a little bit to practice this, but again, we're focused on our breath and the beat, and it's really helpful to help us focus and calm. So, breathe in. And out. In. And out. Good think of breathing in like smelling a flower. Breathe in through your nose and blowing out a candle. Blow out through your mouth, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. In. Out. In. Out. So that's another wonderful way of including a beat in a time when you just want to take your mind off things. Now, the next one we're going to do, the last one we're going to do, is call and answer. So if you have something to drum on, whether it's your body or a pretzel container, and your friend has something to drum on, you can make a sound and they can repeat. Like maybe you just feel like hanging out, not talking. You want to listen to music and you want to drum. It's fun to do. So I have Alvar who's going to be drumming with me. So I'm going to make a sound and then she's going to make a sound. She's going to make a sound and I'm going to make the sound. So it would be kind of like a mockingbird. If you were to whistle out in the woods and there was a mockingbird, you might go. And then maybe in the far distance, you might hear a bird go. Or if you were like in a cavern with a big lake, like a big space outdoors and there was an echo, you might sound like that too. Okay, so here we go. Awesome. You can ask your friend, now you play something and I'll play it back. Awesome. So, the only other thing I would add to this is, if you really love drumming and you can sync your breath with it and you think it helps take your mind off things that bother you or just help you calm down, sometimes we need to, like, what do you call that when you like shift gears? Like, we'll call it shift gears. Like you're just in a mood and you just want to shift gears and start all over again. Doing something like drumming is really helpful. I recommend that you drum and dance, that you move your body when you're drumming. That's really fun to do. So, start over here, go over here, up here, and wiggle a little bit while you're doing it. It's great for your body. It'll build your energy. It'll get rid of energy that, like if you're just feeling like you're full of energy and you need to do something, drum, dance, all right? Thank you so much for watching this. I hope that you love drumming. You don't have to have a fancy drum to drum. And if you would like to learn more about drumming, maybe make your own drum. I also have classes where we make clay whistles. Those are fun to do. You can make a character and make it whistle. You can make a flute. Flutes are beautiful and they're a great way to express your emotions without having to talk to anybody about it. Not everyone likes to talk about their feelings, but if you can express them and let them go if they're not helping you, I think that's really helpful. So if you would like to know more, you can Google a site called Create Wellness, KV Maine, and Maine is like the short ME. So it's all one word, Create Wellness, KV for Kennebec Valley, ME. All right? Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed drumming in whatever form you decide to take it.